Awesome stuff. Well, guys, we're going to kick this off. We like to keep time in perspective. But, guys, thank you so much for hopping on to this live stream. Super excited. Again, this is the first live stream of 2025 that we got going on here. So, guys, I need y'all to, take your notes because it's going to be some serious, some serious gems going to be dropped here on this live stream. So, Gerald, share a little bit about what we're trying to accomplish on it, not only this live stream, but what we're trying to accomplish as a whole for business owners this year in 2025.
Definitely. So great Tuesday to those that are chimed in, to those that'll be watching the replay as well. And Happy New Year 2025 to everyone as well. Hope you all had a great holiday. And for you all that may be hopping onto this live stream for the very first time, my name is Gerald Bass. I'm actually the founder of the Rise of the 1%. Co-host here on the live stream as well is the COO of the Rise of the 1%, Charlotte Cummins.
Indeed.
And yes, we definitely excited and pumped up about things that are going to be taking place today on this live stream to, like Charlotte say, this entire year of 2025. So today we're going to pretty much kick off the new year talking about some mindset growth strategies for your entrepreneurial success in the year 2025. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're not going to get into a lot of tactics and strategies on this particular live stream. We wanted to really kick it off with making sure we got the right mindset, because one thing that I can share with you all is I've been an entrepreneur and business owner in terms of the Rise of the 1% for 8 years now. I can tell you all that one thing that I've discovered over many years being an entrepreneur and business owner and working with a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners is that most of your success is around about 90% mindset, 10% technical knowledge. Okay. 90% mindset, 10% technical knowledge. And so that's one of the reasons why we felt the best way to kick out the new year is around this specific topic. And for the 2025 year, I mean, we're definitely looking to continue to impact a lot of different entrepreneurs and business owners that have coaching businesses, consulting businesses. If you have an online course, if you're a B2B service-based business, and you're just looking to discover more of those cutting-edge strategies, right, to continue to grow and scale your business online. Even some of our strategies later on in this year, we'll talk even about some offline stuff as well to really assist you with growing your business and really increasing your revenue, your profit, and your impact. That's who we're looking to pretty much share a lot of this great information with this year in 2025. Here online to even, we have a lot of in-person things we're going to be doing offline this year in 2025 as well. And we're still on a mission, and we're working on that mission to create $1 billion in success stories amongst a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners that we serve. So that's pretty much what we're going to be covering today in terms of the mindset growth strategies for entrepreneurial success. And of course, that's what we're looking to do for this year in 2025.
Yep. Powerful, but I hope y'all ready.
Absolutely.
Hope y'all ready for these mindset gems.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, the first thing I would start off the conversation with this evening pretty much is I want to talk a little bit about goal setting for 2025. And one thing I would recommend you all do is, for one, it's good to always reflect and look back on what took place in your life and business in the previous year, right? So what took place in terms of 2024? You can look at what are some of the things that happened in 2024 personally. It could be in your life, right? Whether it was positive or negative or whatever the case might be. What was some of those things, and what's the game plan for 2025, right? So when I talk about goal setting, I can tell you all this. I start here first. Is one thing I can tell you all about a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners that I know that rise into the top 1%, a part of the 1% of the 1%. They're very spiritual, right? And I'm going to start personal first. They're very spiritual. Okay, I'm not saying religious. Okay, I'm saying they're very spiritual, right? So they all believe it's some type of higher power above us that is also making a lot of the things happen behind the scenes for a lot of us, right? And so, with that being said, you may look at goal setting this year in terms of how you may want to get yourself more intact spiritually if you wasn't as intact in 2024, right? Or if you were, maybe some things you are looking to do even more in 2025 from a spiritual standpoint, whether that's being a part of communities with other people that are looking to better themselves spiritually, whether that's getting more into the word, doing more devotion, or whatever the case may be, right? So that can be something personal. How as well are you looking at personal development in 2025 correlated to what may have took place in 2024? Personal development is a huge component to being very successful as an entrepreneur and business owner. And I can tell you all this. I started my personal development journey when I actually was in direct sales. This is before we even started the Rise of 1%. Okay? That's actually when I really started to dive into reading more books in reference to personal development, personal growth, mindset type of books to strengthen my mindset, consuming content more around mindset as well. And of course, as well, I had coaches and stuff in the beginning stages that helped me out in certain areas of personal development and personal growth as well. So I would say, what are some of your goals for 2025 in regards to personal development? It's a lot of different books out there you can read when it comes to personal development. Okay, a lot of content out there as well, and people like myself, even Charliette and others out there that can assist you with that as well. Another goal that you may look into for this year is, what are some of your health goals compared to what may have took place in 2024? Okay, that can be different things. I don't necessarily know where you are in terms of health at this point if you're listening to this live stream, but it can be a health goal that you want to be at a certain type weight this year or get to a certain type weight. I would recommend, if you set that type of goal, be very specific in that goal, right? Don't just say, I want to shed some pounds or something like that, or I want to add on this amount of weight in terms of muscle or whatever the case may be. Very specific in terms of the number. A lot of people are very broad when it comes to goal setting, right? So I would definitely recommend you as well look at some of your goals in terms of health when it comes to that as well. And then, of course, what are some of the things you can do to better your health, right? Correlated to what you did last year. Maybe it's eating better, cutting back on certain things that you may do in terms of your lifestyle, working out more, being more consistent in terms of workout, all of those type of things. Another thing in terms of goal setting as well is, how are your relationships in 2024? And what are some things you're looking to do this year in 2025 to strengthen your relationships, whether that can be with a significant other, whether that can be with your children, whether that can be with a business partner, whether that can be with team members in terms of your business, your organization, whether that could be with strategic partnerships in terms of your business, whether that can be with clients, right? What are some of the things you may be looking to do to better and strengthen a lot of your relationships this year that you may didn't do last year, okay? Or you can improve upon this year. And then the last thing I hit on in terms of goal setting is business goals, okay? Business goals. So with business goals, what are some of your revenue goals for this year in 2025 compared to what happened in 2024? How much profit are you potentially setting out to make as well in terms of your business this year in 2025 compared to 2024? How much money are you looking to save, invest? Those can be some business goals. How many clients are you looking to generate over the next 12 months and serve? That can be a goal, right? And when it comes to that type of goal, the next thing you'll want to do is, once you pretty much come up with like the number of clients, let's say you want over the entire year, you can break that down to how many clients you're going to need per month, how many clients you're going to need per week. It could even be broken down today in some instances. And then from there, you want to reverse engineer and say, okay, how many appointments in terms of qualified appointments do I need to generate? It can be per day, it can be for the week, for the month, to be able to hit my client acquisition goals each month. And if you've been in business a while, you should know your numbers in terms of sales, in terms of what closing ratios look like. Okay. If you haven't been in business that long, of course, you have to just go out there and start to generate those appointments and start to land clients. And over time, you will start to know what your closing ratio is. You're closing at 25%, 30%, 35%, 50%, or higher. So you'll want to set those type of goals in terms of your business, in terms of client acquisition. And then you can break it down even more into, what am I going to have to do to generate those clients? What is my strategy or strategies to generate those clients? Is it going to just be relying on word of mouth referrals? I don't recommend that. It's not very consistent and predictable.
I had several people telling me that. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's not very consistent or predictable. And Charlie, when you get people tell you that, what do you typically say?
I said, interesting. That's great, but how do you scale word of mouth? And a lot of times they can't tell me.
Exactly. Exactly.
For real.
Your next client and the revenue of your business, and even clients that you can serve, is relying on someone else's efforts of sending you business. Right? That's not a very consistent or predictable way to grow a company. You want word of mouth and referrals. That means you have a great product or service. That means you're giving your clients a great experience. You're giving them results. You're helping them solve problems, that's what you want to do at the highest degree. You don't just want to be relying just on that way of generating new business. Because like Charlie had said, how can you scale that? A part of your strategy, is it going to be layering on some outbound, whether that's leveraging LinkedIn or leveraging email, or you're going to do SMS, going to make dials or have a sales rep help you with making dials? Are you going to leverage Facebook to grow your business this year, or Instagram to grow your business, or YouTube? In terms of, like I say, outbound strategies are you going to create content this year? If you're going to create content and leverage outbound, if you're going to leverage outbound, we'll start there first. How many people do you need to be connecting with per day? And based off those people that you're connecting with per day, how many of them do you need to be able to engage in some type of conversation in terms of building relationships, building rapport, and being that it may be some challenges that you can help them with? How many of them do you need to book into calls? That can be per day, per week, for the month. Or if you have a SDR in your business, how many people do they need to be connecting with per day? Engaging in those conversations, building relationships, seeing who your company can help, and those they feel that your company can help, they book them into calls. What do those numbers need to look like? Whether it's on LinkedIn or any platforms that you're leveraging in terms of outbound. Right? If you're going to leverage email, we'll say that again in terms of outbound as well. How often are you going to email this year?
Right.
I can tell you all this. The businesses that I know that are very successful when it comes to leveraging email, because I know a lot of people like to say, oh, email marketing is dead or whatever the case may be. That's not the case. Okay. A lot of times it has to do with, for one, what's the size of your list? A lot of times as well, it has to do with the quality of your list in terms of the quality of the subscribers you have on the list. And a lot of times it has to do with how often you're mailing your list, and also how much value are you actually providing to the list over just selling your list.
Right.
That's why I always share with our clients 90% value, 10% making offers. And that's actually with email, or that's even with content on social media. It's the same thing. And Charlotte, you can chime in at any time as well if you want to.
Antonio says great insights and key points. More than
Yes,
welcome,
sir.
Antonio. But yes, that's true. That's true. Guys, they still gotta be nurtured. And then a lot of people think like, oh, okay. If you are doing outreach at times, people think like, oh, okay, I can just outreach to them one time and they'll be ready to hop on a call and buy. It don't work like that either.
Absolutely.
That don't
Absolutely.
work. That don't. Yeah,
Right.
funny. But
Fortune's in
yeah,
the follow up.
right. The fortune is in the follow up. I've booked several high quality calls from old conversations. I'm talking about like years old. Years old. You spark up interest, you have conversations, you be like, dang, it's been a while since we connected. What's going on? You'll be surprised. Was change in that person's life at the moment where in the past they potentially could have told you no, but now they could be ready. You never know. But if you never reach out and you never re-engage with them, that kind of those type of people will fall between the cracks. So just want to put that out there too as well.
Right. Exactly. And that's why I was saying as well, even alongside doing outbound outreach, whether that's on social media platforms or what have you, with email, like I said as well, you have to be very consistent with that as well. I know some entrepreneurs and business owners that I've talked to over the years say, I email my list once a month or once a week or whatever the case may be, versus if you've been on our email list for some
Real
time,
talk.
you will see how often we mail. We mail quite a bit. And I can tell you, our clients who are very successful in their businesses as well that leverage email, they email quite a bit. I'm talking
Right.
about around 6-7 days a week. Right. So with that being said, you really want to keep that in mind in terms of business goals for 2025. But then when it comes to content, if you're going to leverage content in 2025, which is I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be leveraging content in 2025 when
Right.
it comes to the internet. That's really a must in today's time if you really want to grow your audience, build awareness, build your brand, be able to add a lot of value to that audience that you're actually building up, and even be able to grow your business.
Right.
Content creation is a key component to that. And so you have to ask yourself, if I'm going to be creating content in 2025, what is that going to look like?
Right.
Right? What is that going to look like? It's a lot of different ways to create content. Of course, you can do written text posts. You can do written text posts with images. You can leverage video. You can leverage reels in today's time, reel clips. Right? You can leverage articles. If you have a podcast, you can leverage that. So it's a lot of different ways to create content. What is going to be your strategy for
Right.
2025? Right? What's going to be your strategy? And how often are you going to create content? How often are you going to distribute content? Because you have to be very consistent and persistent with creating and distributing content, being you're going to create content.
Right.
You should have a content calendar, a schedule. That's what I recommend. That's what I definitely recommend.
Absolutely. And you don't have to I was actually talking to somebody about this earlier, another business owner. You don't have to overthink when it comes to content either. It can be something as simple as, like, okay, I attended this event, letting people know like what you're doing, what you're involved in too as well. Things of that nature too. Mix it up a little bit. I know you talked about that before. You probably need to remind the audience of the social media strategies when it comes to content.
Yeah.
Things that they should be posting.
Right. The 4 E's of social media marketing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we use and many of our clients use. And it's even been people that's just tuned into our content that started to implement what has been shared. That's not even clients of ours. It's the 4 E's of social media marketing and also testimonials and case studies. So the first E is enlightening content. You want to be inspiring your audience. That's pretty much what that is. The second E is educational. You want to educate, provide value, resources, tools, tips that can help your audience. The third E, entertaining / lifestyle, have a human element to the different postings that you put out. Don't have to be all business. The fourth E is engaging content. You want to post content to engage your audience, get them to engage, get them to interact with your post. That's what engaging content means. And then also testimonials, case studies, and results from clients. That's the type of stuff you really want to be posting.
Right. It's not overly complicated. I think people think too much into it, but it's not overly complicated. Those are the ones that you want to be posting and circulating through your page. Because the reason why you're doing that, if you guys are not aware, is that it helps with the algorithm for one. And not only that, people want to see, they kind of form a vision of you based on like what you post and what, like, keep in mind, these people don't know who you are. So you need them to be able to see who you are, and not only that, see what you're about too. So that's the key too as well. So people can really understand and can relate, to you and what you're doing
As you're
too as
building an
well.
audience. Yeah.
Right.
As you're building
Right.
an audience. Yep. Well, another business strategy in terms of goal setting, we're still talking about goal setting. Are you going to do events this year in 2025, whether that's virtual, live in person, live streams, or whatever the case may be? Are you going to do events? Events are very powerful, very powerful.
Right.
You can get groups, right, in one group setting and be able to really educate, add value, or provide some type of training or workshop in person or virtually, and potentially generate business that way as well. So if you're going to go that route, how often are you going to do your events? I would recommend creating a schedule for that too. All right, if you're going to go that route. Now, everything that me and Charliette just spoke on is all mostly through organic methods.
Right.
Okay. Now, for some of you all that have your organic totally dialed in, let's say you already implement everything we just shared at a high degree and your business is rapidly growing, and you want to scale, you may want to leverage paid advertising. Don't have to, but you may want to leverage it. And if you are going to leverage it, you'll need a strategy for that as well in terms of advertising. What's your advertising budget going to be? How often are you going to advertise? Right? Those are some of the things that you will want to keep in mind in terms of goal setting for 2025. If y'all getting something out of this, if you are chiming in, feel free to hit the like or love button on this, or if you're even watching the replay. Also, feel free to drop any comments in the comment section if you're getting anything out of this, or if you have any specific questions, or if you want to chime in on anything in the conversation, feel free to do that.
Yeah, and if you even like Gerald mentioned, even if you guys are watching the replay, you can always chime in too as well because we answer all questions. So just want to let you know.
Absolutely.
We do, for real. We answer all the questions, even though it can be weeks out. It don't matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the last goal I would talk about in terms of business goals for the time being would be client success goals as well, right? If it's a certain amount of success stories you're looking to create this year in 2025, it's good to map that out as well. Set a goal for that. How many new testimonies, how many new case studies, how many new success stories you're going to create this year? It's great to set that type of goal as well. All right. Now,
Antonio said he got a lot of what we sharing. Antonio gets it. Antonio gets it, y'all.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Well, the next thing I'll speak on is I believe, and I know some people think this is woo-woo or whatever. To me, I don't think it's woo-woo. They think it's like some woo-woo type of stuff or whatever. I don't believe it's woo-woo. I believe you should do a vision board if you have not done one.
Right.
I know, everyone within our team has done one. We have a lot of our clients do them as well. That's like in our high-level program. So I would definitely recommend doing some type of vision board. It can be of different people's identities you may want to adopt, right? In terms of forming your own identity. It can be just different accomplishments that you're setting out for, putting the actual visual on the board, and actually reviewing that every day. See, this is the thing with vision boards. Some people just make them and kind of just throw them to the side. Really, to get the huge value from it and benefit from it, you have to constantly go back and review it. But I recommend creating one if you don't have one. Definitely recommend that. All right. Now, the last thing I will speak on, and then, any questions you all have, we can definitely answer, is a huge thing when it comes to mindset for entrepreneurial success as well is discipline. Discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. So when it comes to what I talked about in terms of the goal setting, whether that's your personal goals, whether that's your health goals, relationship goals, the business goals, you can identify all those different goals. But if you don't have the discipline, once you set your goals and you put your action plan together to be very consistent and persistent throughout this year 2025 to accomplish them, you can fall short. So I'm going to share with you all what discipline looks like for me. For one, you want to have routines. Every successful entrepreneur and business owner I know, and I know many of them, they have routines, they have schedules. So the first routine I'll talk about is great to have a morning routine. It's great to have a morning routine. Not just getting up in your morning and just going at your day. Having a morning routine. If you're an entrepreneur business owner, it's great to have a morning routine. Now, I'm going to tell you all just some of the things that's in mine, and you can create your own if you don't have one. Or if you already have one, you may want to add some of the stuff that I have in mind. My morning routine typically consists of prayer. It typically consists of the gym. It typically consists of morning devotion and personal development. Right? So in the mornings, I don't tend to do a whole lot of things in regards to skill sets. It's more preparing me spiritually and mentally for the day. So that's why you see prayer in there. You see gym in there in terms of workout. You see personal development, morning devotion. Personal development for me is typically around 10 pages of a personal development book, around mindset of 30 minutes of audio. And then, of course, morning devotion is studying scripture. And then outside of that, I consider devotion to be kind of tied in with meditation for me, kind of together, and then reviewing goals, and then getting into the workday. That's what a morning routine looks like. Now, I'm not saying you have to do every single thing that I have in mind. I can give you some idea. Now, another thing, of course, first of all, when it even comes to getting into the morning routine is, of course, having the time you're going to get up in the morning to do the morning routine, get it done, and having the time you start your workday. I know a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners where their schedules are like all over the place. And I see it at times because we have potential clients looking to hop on calls with us. And at times, they're very unorganized in terms of their scheduling. At times, sometimes have to reschedule because, I forgot about the meeting or whatever it is, right? We don't get that a whole lot. Every now and then you get that from different business owners. Do you not have a calendar for your business? Do you not have a schedule? And so where I'm going with this is that, yes, you should have a time where you begin your workday. And what are those tasks that you have to start your workday off with? If you have a team, is it a team meeting? If you don't have a team as of yet, is it you starting your day with doing some prospecting after your morning routine? And prospecting can be a lot of different things. That can be on social media. That can be doing some emails, some texts, making calls. Those are forms of prospecting. Am I going to do some prospecting? Do I already have calls and meetings set up with potential clients? You have to have all this scheduled on the calendar. If you're doing client success or fulfillment work yourself, you have to have that blocked out on the calendar on when you're going to do client success or fulfillment work. If you have a team doing that, then, of course, you're either meeting with the team that's doing that in terms of managing that team, or if you have a manager that manages that team, I'm pretty sure you meet with the manager that manages the team. The thing is, though, all this should be in time blocks throughout your day. This is how you become very efficient and productive throughout your days. If you eat breakfast in the morning, you can plan that out. I don't typically eat a big breakfast. If you do eat breakfast, you can plan that out. Times you eat lunch, times you eat dinner, times you're going to educate yourself, whether that's reading or consuming content or going through a course or hopping on coaching calls. If you have a coach or if you're coaching other clients, whatever the case may be, you have to have all this in time blocks to even your personal time in terms of things you have to do in regards to your personal life. Time blocks. That's what I would definitely recommend as well in terms of the mindset for entrepreneurial success this year in 2025. Plan your days a day ahead, even the time that you're going to take it in the evenings, to even, like I said, family time, to even vacation time, if you're going to do any vacations, all that planned out. Everything's planned out. And even circling back around the business, if you are in the process of hiring for different parts of your business, when is those meetings going to take place? Have those blocked out. If you don't have an HR department that's handling that as of yet, when you're going to meet with accountants in terms of bookkeeping, having that blocked out. If you have that for your particular business, all this stuff has to be blocked out in terms of schedules, to even your marketing as well, like I stated on earlier.
Content creation calendar.
Content? Yep. When are you going to create content? That needs to be in your schedule. When are you going to distribute content? That needs to be in your schedule, in your routines. If you're going to do events, same thing. That has to be in your schedule, in your routines, blocked out on your calendar. All this should be in time blocks. Planning your days a day ahead, and also planning your weeks, to planning your months, to planning the entire year of 2025. And that's what I have. Charlotte, if you want to add anything, you're welcome to do it. And also, if we have any questions, we can answer them. And that's pretty much what I have.
Yeah, this stuff definitely helps. It definitely helps. Trust me. I'm a new entrepreneur, so entrepreneurship is really, really new for me. And Gerald got us hip to a lot of these strategies, well, all of these strategies rather, and then some additional strategies too as well. It helps. It helps a lot. So I want you guys to understand that too as well. It's more, like you said, it's more than the tactics and strategies all the time. Mindset is key to even trying to navigate all of these things, especially if you're like a new entrepreneur like myself, learning these different strategies and stuff like that. But I'm telling you guys, what he's telling you, it helps. I'm trying to tell y'all, want to get out there and crush it. And also don't be afraid to try new things. Like, you don't have to roll everything out at once. That's not what he's saying. You can roll out some of these, implement some of these strategies, bit by bit by bit, until you pile up to say, okay, by this date, I'm going to be able to implement this strategy. By this date, I'm going to be implement this strategy. You tack it on. So keep that in mind too as well.
Absolutely. Right stuff. So yeah, we don't have any questions.
Y'all, just quick announcement before we hop off, guys. Those who have been hitting me up, if y'all don't get registered for the Dallas event on January 25th, child, it's gonna be sold out.
Yeah.
Guys, we are almost sold out, and it's January 7th. So if you guys have not registered for the event, don't hit me up and ask me questions. I think you need to go on and get on the registration list before you hit me up and ask me questions, because we're about to be sold out. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the link to get registered for that event, by the way, we're actually doing a live in-person event in Dallas, Fort Worth on January 25th of this month. So for any of you all that chime into this live stream right now, to any of you all come back and watch the replay, if you want to discover these different strategies to be able to grow and scale your business this year without even spending any money on paid advertising, how to leverage LinkedIn the proper way. And not only just LinkedIn, it's an entire ecosystem around LinkedIn, right? Or if you have an audience over on Facebook, how to leverage Facebook as well, organically, without even spending any money on paid advertising, to keep your calendar full with qualified appointments this year, be able to land those high value clients, be able to scale up to that extra 20 to 50,000 plus a month on the internet without spending money on paid ads. Then you definitely want to get registered for this event. Like Charlie says, it's pretty much close to being sold out. The link is www.theriseofthe1%.com/DFW event. It's www.theriseofthe1%.com/DFW event. Okay. You can feel
We'll
free to
place it
share
in
this
the
around.
chat too as well, guys. We'll put it in the chat after we get off of the live stream so you guys can have it. Yeah, guys, it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be packed. And guys,
Absolutely.
we are actually in the process of doing this in other cities. And I know that I talked to a bunch of you already, but we're in the process of doing these events in different cities because it's information that business owners need to know. They need to understand all of the things that are available to them out there to grow, to be able to be consistent, things about systems, things of that nature. So yeah, it's gonna be big, y'all.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
I'm hoping that y'all ready.
Yep. And feel free to share it around with anyone else you all feel could benefit as well.
Right. So many exciting things coming down the pipeline that we've never done literally in the 8 years that you've been in business, right, Gerald?
Yeah.
8 years.
Absolutely.
That
Yep.
this is it's a complete different spin on everything that we've been doing thus far. We're coming in contact with you like face to face. So guys, y'all gonna have to hop on these events because it's gonna be selling out quickly in other cities too as well. Atlanta is halfway there. And theirs is
Yeah.
not until February. So that's
Yeah.
why I'm telling y'all, get on it.
All right, you all. Well, what we'll do, we'll go on and get ready to wrap it. If Charlie house back on, that's fine. If not, we'll go on and wrap it. But yes, definitely, if you're chimed in or if you look at this replay, feel free to drop any comments below of any takeaways you got out of the live stream as you go through it, or for you all that's been on here, feel free to drop any takeaways, as well as feel free as well to drop any questions. And in terms of the Dallas event for the 25th, we'll actually have that link in the comment section for you to get registered for it before we get ready to cap that off.
Right.
And besides that, you all, yes, and you get value out of this, make sure you hit that like, love button. Feel free to share this around with anyone else you feel could benefit. We'll definitely see you all next time.